Good evening, all. As we are on dot 4:30, we will get started with today's session, Life Lessons from Warcenters to Data Center. I would now welcome our chair of IEEE Bangalore section, Mr. Punit Kumar Mishra, to formally welcome today's speaker and go over his brief bio. Punit sir, over to you.
As well as our guest, to all of them, happy IEEE Day. And we are very honored to have Colonel Deepak Mohan, who has a distinguished service of more than 2.5 decades in Indian Army, and he has served at various capacities. So welcome you, sir. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for agreeing to provide an insight into the leadership qualities as well as how volunteering helps. And your topic is really interesting, from trenches to data center. So I think it is going to take us from the war field to the data center. So with this, I would like to introduce our chief guest of today's IEEE Day celebrations at Bangalore section. Colonel Deepak Mohan Anand is the CEO of Public Services at ESDS Software Solutions Private Limited. Prior to joining ESDS, Colonel Anand was Director of Automation in the Indian Army, working at Army Headquarters, New Delhi. He has an experience of over 28 years with the Army, and during his tenure with Army, he has conceptualized, planned, and implemented very large-scale ICT projects, delivering digital infrastructure and international footprints. Colonel Anand is an alumnus of National Defense Academy, only known as NDA, Khadakwasla, Indian Military Academy, IIM Dehradun. In addition, he is also alumni of IIM Ahemdabad, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi, Institute of Armament Technology, Pune, College of Defense Management, Secunderabad. He not only holds the distinction of standing fourth in the overall order of merit out of the 5 lakh aspirants while joining NDA, but also standing first in the Army subject while passing out of NDA. He commanded a Signal Regiment in the insurgency affected regions of Jammu and Kashmir. He has been part of various think tanks to evolve the policy documents for ICT infrastructure of the armed forces. He has various prestigious awards and decorations to his credit. Most importantly, he is the recipient of prestigious plaque of honor for being adjudged as the best young officer. He also been recently awarded the Chief of Army Staff's Commendation for distinguished contribution to the Ministry of Defense in its digitalization drive. Earlier, twice consecutively, he has been awarded the Army Commander's Commendation for distinguished contribution in creating a state-of-art ICT infrastructure with far-reaching impact on the national security. Colonel Anand is an avid reader and has been a distinguished speaker at various seminars and forums of the armed forces. In the present role, Colonel Deepak has been involved in very large-scale data center-related projects delivering IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS to key central and state government initiatives. He has been instrumental in expanding the footprint of the company in new geographies and has added a large number of marquee logos to the company's client list. He has not only built and inspired a robust team, but has also established new offices, various new practices in the organization, and streamlined SOPs. His dedication to duty, vast experience, and depth of knowledge in varied domains has facilitated ESDS in achieving very high growth in not only revenue but also in profits. He is self-driven professionals with unflinching integrity and moral values. Welcome to you, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and joining us. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such an elaborate introduction, and I'm really thankful to you and Chengappa for giving me this opportunity to share my life's journey, my insights that I have gained over the last 3 decades of being in the professional world. So when Chinkappa told me that they would like to know about my journey from war centers to data centers, the topic was so interesting, like you mentioned, that it really got me racing. My thoughts went back to a few decades when I was just a young boy of class 8 standard, and that's when I decided uniform is my calling, and I would want to don the uniform for the rest of my life. And this is how what you see on the screen now is on the left side is me as an 8th class student of NCC. And it so happened that I was selected to attend the prestigious Republic Day camp. And there I was adjudged as the best cadet, and I was awarded Governor's Gold Medal. Now that got me thinking, that got that young boy make a choice of his life. That's when I decided that uniform is what I want to be in, and I will join the National Defense Academy. And thereafter, I appeared in my examinations of the NDA for the first time. And incidentally, what you see on the right side is me commanding the marching contingent on the Rajpath in 1995. And that is the Corps of Signals marching contingent that I commanded. So the dream has spanned from class 8 standard to me being a young lieutenant commanding the contingent on the Rajpath, giving the salute to the Honorable President. My calling was the National Defense Academy. I wanted to join the National Defense Academy. That was my dream, and I strived, I studied hard, and I prepared for the examinations. And it's a very competitive examination. Mind you, every year almost about 5 to 6 lakh students appear for this examination to join this prestigious institute. And I studied hard, worked hard. To my utter dismay, in my first attempt, I couldn't even qualify the written part of it. And I was shattered, and my dreams were broken. I thought that's the end of the world. I mean, what else would I do in life if I can't join NDA? I was totally heartbroken. But my parents, they encouraged me. They said that have faith in yourself, get up and try again. It's okay to fail, but it's not okay to give up. So I remember my dad's words then. He said very fondly that "Girte hain sheh sawari maidane jang mein." So what it meant was that it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail in life, fall, but it's not okay to get up and try again. So I gathered my wits about myself. I started studying again, gave everything that I have in me. I almost studied 16 hours in a day, and I would skip all the events. I even skipped my school's reunion. I couldn't afford to miss 4 hours there because that was too precious then. Even though I was told that I'm being given the award of Mr. School and whatever, but then I said, no, I can't take chances with my dreams. I sat down, I gave everything that I have in me. And all this hard work, dedication, commitment paid up. Paid up when the final result was announced. The merit was published in the newspapers, and I was utterly, I was overwhelmed to see myself at the 4th place in the national rank. So that's what is a lesson which I've been carrying with me all this while. That hard work, effort, and your commitment, dedication, eventually pays you back. It gives you reasons to be happy. It gives you long-lasting pleasures, which you can even today. I rejoice at that moment. After so many decades, also when I think of my emotions and my feelings when I saw that my name in the newspaper, it gives me happiness. So those are the kind of lasting pleasures that your hard work and dedication gives back to you. May 1988, I joined the National Defense Academy, and it was 250 of us all selected through very rigorous screening process, and coming from various parts of the country, various walks of life, various kind of background. But there was one thing which was common amongst all of us. We were all passionate about the uniform. We were all passionate to live our dreams, to realize our dreams, to become officers in the Indian Armed Forces. NDA is a tri-services institute. You have cadets from the Army, Navy, Air Force, all kind of backgrounds. So I was an Army cadet. I had my friends who were destined to join the Navy, and the others who were going to join the Air Force and fly the fighter planes. So that's the kind of mix of young lads that we were. all starry-eyed, full of dreams. Everybody wanted to, carve out a name for himself, do grand things, get your name written in golden letters in the great institution that we were part of. So we went about training. The NDA training is no cakewalk. NDA training is a very rigorous training. NDA is, in its true sense, it's been named as the cradle of military leadership. And how the process, how it begins is that they take you in and they crush you. They crush your very being. Then they rebuild you. They rebuild you from scratch, and they make you the person that you ought to be, a military leader with the kind of values which are sought from a military leader, from a leader of substance, which has to be. Those are instilled in you, and they are instilled real hard way, real grilling way. And I was a very keen learner. I wanted to learn everything. I wanted to make use of the opportunities and the learning opportunities which were there in the National Defense Academy. It's a world-class institute. It's got the facilities which are at par anywhere in the world. 7,000 acres plus of campus. It has its own lake. It has its own airfield. Horse riding, surfing, name a facility, it is there. So, and I made the best use of everything, and I learned everything. Whatever I am today, whatever personality and whatever skills, traits that I have today, I owe it to the National Defense Academy. And what was, I don't know where I picked this up. Somewhere I learned this, that these 4 defining traits have been with me all this while. It's that what somebody told me, that you must always have a desire to learn, desire to improve, desire to cooperate, and desire to work hard. Now, these 4 traits have been with me through all my journey till date. And I put this in every endeavor that I do. I take these 4 traits and I want to learn everything. Every day I want to learn new things, strive hard to improve find a newer version of me every other day. So those are the kind of character traits, the values which the National Defense Academy instilled in me. Passed out of the academy in 1991, and thereafter I joined the Indian Military Academy. 1 year's training was a breeze, and then I got commissioned into Corps of Signals. Went for my young officers course, and somebody once told me that if you join the military, your academic career is over. But my experience has been otherwise. It is that in the military, you have to learn so much, you have to read so much, you have to be abreast with the latest developments in not only in the field of technology, in the field of tactics, strategy, in the geopolitics, economic affairs, current affairs. You have to be abreast with whatever is happening around you. If you want to be a good leader, then you have to read, and keep upskilling yourself every other day. That's what I did. And I want to quote this famous quote over here. It says, "The nation that makes a great distinction between the scholars and its warriors will have its thinking done by the cowards and its fighting done by the fools." And fortunately for all of us, India as a country and the Indian Army as an organization is mindful of this, and it makes a great deal of effort in training its officers and its cadre. So as far as my military training is concerned, I have been put through one of the most premier institutes that are there in the country: the National Defense Academy, the Indian Military Academy, the Commando Wing Belgaum, and the Military College of Telecommunication Engineering, MAU. That's where I learned my military traits. That's where I learned the military values. That's where I learned all my tactics and my strategy oriented towards the military being. And in addition, it doesn't just end there. The military, the Indian Army has sent me and has invested great deal of effort and resources in me, in training me in some of the finest institutions that this country has. I can proudly say that I'm an alumni of IIM Ahemdabad, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, College of Defense Management, Secunderabad, Indian Institute of Armament Technology, Pune, and the Military College of Telecommunication Engineering, from where I got my BTech's degree. So it has given me adequate skills of life. It has given me adequate education. It has given me adequate qualifications. Armed with these skills, armed with these character traits, these personality traits, this education and these qualifications, even after hanging my uniform, I could find my feet in the corporate world and in the technology, the cutting edge technology domain that I am today is all owing to what this great institution, this organization has given to me. And mind you, when you are going through your military training, it's no cakewalk. It's a tough life, tough training, and they expect a world out of you, because you know that as an organization, this country looks up to you in a great deal. You are the last bastion for the country. This organization is the last call. Whenever the chips are down, it's the Indian Army which is called upon. And so the training and your impartation of values, your selection, your grooming has to be of that standard. So I am reminded of various incidents which I would hereafter quote, and I would draw out few lessons of life which the military training has imbibed upon me. It was during the commando course, which it's a 40 days course, which is one of the toughest course anywhere under the sun. Even the Navy SEALs, they came to the military school Belgaum to attend this course, and after 5 days they declared this as inhuman. They wanted to go back. And I'm telling you, these 40 days were so grilling. I have seen so many people break down, but then they gather their wits about themselves, put them all together and walk. It's that 40 days that teaches you that the potential of human body is limitless. One should have no fear, and one should be willing to take risks. And when the chips are down, the famous quote on the commando school which goes around is that mushkil waqt commando sat. The way the training is structured, it is so beautiful. I remember that the first day when I joined the commando wing, you are put through an haircut, you shave off your head, and you are made to stand in a queue. Your instructor, who is a havaldar, who comes and stands in front of you, gives you a crisp salute and asks you, give your rank badges. So you are supposed to take out your rank badges and you hand over those rank badges to the instructor of yours, that havaldar NCO. And he takes them gracefully, folds them, keeps them aside, and then he turns back. He has a different look on his face. He's a maniac then. Thereafter, he makes the hell out of you. He puts you to the ground. Makes you go through the training. He'll kick you. He'll push you everywhere. He'll push you to the limits. The aim is to break you down, to take you to the limits of your physical capabilities, your emotional capabilities. Your sleep cycle is broken. Your food cycle is broken. Everything is broken. And then you are shown the limits. What limit human body can go on. And thereafter, the more confidence that you have in yourself, that yes, everything you can do. You can do anything. Everything is possible. And on the last day, the same instructor, same havaldar comes back, hands over your rank badges to you. And in this all interim, you are not an officer. You are just a commando. So when he hands back your rank badges to you, you put them on and he gives you a crisp salute back. And then he tells you that, remember always, mushkil waqt commando sir. So the training, it imbibes such lessons in you which stand with you throughout your military career. Taking off from there, these are some of the values which every military leader, every officer of the armed forces, cherishes. Valor as a definition, bravery, courage in the face of the enemy, in the face of odds. These are some of the names of those brave sons of soil who have, made the supreme sacrifice and have shown what courage, what bravery, and what valor is all about. Today, they are household names. Who can forget Vikram Batra? Who can forget his those famous lines, "Ye dil mange more"? He went back. He went back to those hills. He wanted to capture. He wanted to do more for the country. While doing that, he made the supreme sacrifice. But he is the hero. He is the proud son of this country who has brought honor to the motherland. And similar are the stories of so many of them. It's somebody says that the soldiers are not scared. No, it's soldiers are also scared. They also know what fear is all about, because they know what a bullet of a 7.62 mm bullet or an AK-47 bullet can do to human body. They know what losing a life, losing a limb, and getting injured means. So they know what fear is all about. And if I take the quote of the most famous general that we've had so far, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, he says, if a man says he's not afraid of dying, he's either lying or he's a Gorkha. So, along with this is associated a very interesting anecdote. One of the Gurkha battalion, because of their bravery and their valor, they are known for their bravery. They were selected to be converted into a para battalion. So it's a matter of honor, it's a matter of prestige to get considered for being conversion to a para battalion. So the CO gathered his unit, and to motivate his troops, he showed them a clip of World War II where the soldiers are jumping from the aircraft with a parachute. And after the clip was over, he asked his unit that, okay, how many of you would like to get converted to para? So about 20, 30 of them raised their hands that, okay, we would like to jump from the aircraft. And, the CO was absolutely devastated. It was to his utter dismay. He thought that all his troops are so brave, the Gurkhas are so brave, and only 20, 30 people have raised their hands. So he couldn't believe it. He asked the Subedar Major that, what's wrong? Why? So the Subedar Major went to the troops again and he spoke to them. And he came back to the CO. And when the CO asked again, about 50, 60 of them again, raised their hands. And the CO said, okay, well, what happened? Why? So these guys said, this 50, 60 who raised their hands again, they said that, Kishab, agar wo chhatri milega, to hum bhi kudega. So can you imagine that the earlier lot was ready to jump off from the aircraft just for the sake of the unit and the honor of the CO, even without the parachutes. So that's what bravery and valor means. That's what commitment to a cause, a faith in your leader means. In the army, the ethos that we follow is before self. You put your troops, put your country, put your unit before yourself, before everything else. And it all stems from a very famous quote by Sir Chetwood, which is enshrined in the Lord Chetwood, which is enshrined in all the academies of the country, be the NDA, the IMA, or the OTA. I will read it out for you. It says, the safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of the men you command come next. Your own ease, comfort, and safety come last, always and every time. Now, this is the core ethos. This is the guiding principle. This is the motto which is followed by all the officers of the armed forces. They put themselves in front. They will lead from the front. They will go the harm's way first. The first bullet will be taken on by the leader. They will not make their troops do what they can't do themselves. So if it is all reflected in statistics, just about 3.8% of the overall numbers of the army comprises of the officers. And if you see the percentage of fatal casualties, the people who have made the supreme sacrifice, it's almost 12%. That shows it. That is the distilled essence of leadership. In an army, it is not that, okay, you go and attack there. No, it doesn't happen that way. It is follow me. I will lead. I will do it first. And I will go the harm's way first. And I will not make you do something which I can't do myself. So this is the distilled essence of leadership. This is what I mean when I say that leadership is all about. Rest all is jargon. You can cover everything else in any other manner, any other word, any other vocabulary. But distilled essence of leadership lies here. That's what I believe. That's what the most of the armed forces, all the officers believe in this. Let me run you through some of the events and incidents, scenarios. I'll picture certain scenarios to you. Imagine yourself in those situations, and you would realize that what kind of mettle it takes to be there, what kind of character traits and what kind of leadership traits you need to have to be coming out of those situations, to be handling those situations. Kargilwa, we all are aware what happened. A lot of few Pakis had come and they had occupied our peaks and they were sitting there. And the Indian Army had to launch an operation uphill task, climb up the hills and clear out bunker after bunker after bunker. So in one of the operation, a young officer, just about 23, 24 years of age, he was leading a team which comprises of just 3-4 guys. And they had climbed right up to the top But at the top, they found there was an automatic weapon which was deployed and which was bringing down heavy fire on them. And they were totally pinned down. There was no way they could have moved anywhere. And in fact, that weapon was blocking the entire route to that cliff. And the subsequent attacks which were planned, the subsequent battalions which were to be launched there, they couldn't have also gone and carried out attack. So this officer realized that taking out this weapon is very essential for the success of the subsequent operations. So there was an NCO with him. He said, amongst them, they realized, they figured out that there is only one way this weapon can be taken out. That is called something called death charge. In that, you just charge at the weapon. You know that you're not going to come back. You're going to die there. But you will lob a grenade and you will take out that weapon. So that is something called, which is the death charge. Now, this Havaldar said that, okay, Saab, I will go. But this officer put him down. He said, no, you have a family. You have wife, you have kids. I'm alone. I will go. And without wasting a second, he just charged at the weapon. The bullets were piercing through his body. He reached to the bunker, dropped a grenade there, and took out that weapon. And it was this act of valor of this officer, this selfless sacrifice, this selfless drive for the cause, for the motherland, that the subsequent operations were all went through successfully, and that objective was captured. Another scenario, you are in a cordon and search operations, again in Jammu and Kashmir, terrorist infested area. It's pitch dark, thick of the night, chill, bone-biting cold, wind is absolutely chilly, absolute quiet all around. There are a few dogs barking all around in the village. You are passing through a village. You know that you are going towards another objective. And in this chill of the night, in this quiet of the night, suddenly you hear a burst of fire. 3 bullets are fired, 1 burst of AK is fired. As per your training, what you do is you dash down and crawl. That's what the team does. That's what you do. You just dash down and crawl, and you wait for some time. It's absolutely quiet after that. You can hear your breath. You can hear your heartbeat. But you don't know what has happened. You don't know where your troops are, where your team is, what has happened. Are they safe? Are they not? Where the fire has come from? Are there terrorists? How many of them are there? Is there only one team? So those kind of thoughts are going in your mind. So it's quiet for some time. And so you gather together, you gather your team, crawl together, you try and make a move. Again, there is a sudden burst of fire. Another burst of fire is fired. Again, you do the same thing. You drop, you encircle you move towards the village. You try and figure out what to do. You ask for more support. You know what the situation is. You know that there is a terrorist. There is a group of terrorists. How many of them? You don't know. You don't know about your boys. You have to carry out a mission. You have to ensure that your troops are safe. You have to ensure that in your fire, no collateral damage happens, no civilian casualty happens. So those are the paradigms, those are the situations, those are scenarios in which you are working. Imagine yourself, picture yourself there. What character traits, what values will it take you to come out of the situation, handle the situation, and launch that operation? Another scenario. I know this officer very closely. I've had the fortune of serving with him, and he's risen to the highest rank in the Indian Army. He was commanding a brigade in the northeast, and he gets an intelligence that there are terrorists in a village. All his troops are all pre-committed, all his QRTs are gone, troops are outside. So he musters up whatever is available in the brigade headquarters, just about 2 officers and 4-5 troops are there. He gathers them together, puts a quick reaction team, gives them a vehicle, gives them they take their weapons, and they are launched. So the moment they come out of the brigade headquarters, this officer realized that he's been double-crossed and it's a trap. And the moment this vehicle steps out of the gate of the brigade headquarters, they are ambushed. 2 officers, 5 troops lose their life. This officer vows upon himself that till the time he has avenged the death of his troops, he will not sleep on the bed. He will not come back to his brigade headquarters. 6 months he bashed from jungle to jungle, lane to lane. Did not sleep on the bed, slept on the floor. But after 6 months of his toil, he got them. He avenged them. And he came back to his headquarters only after he had avenged for his troops. Another scenario, 26/11. All of you would have seen those images flashing on the TV screen where likes of Ajmal Kasab, had walked into our financial capital, the symbols of our country, the Taj, the Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminal, the Oberois. They were killing people left, right, and center, making merry hell out of their firing at their free will, killing police, killing civilian. We were all helpless. As a nation, we were watching all this unfolding in front of our eyes as helpless as all of us. People were dying, innocent people were being killed. There was a rage in amongst all of us that why, what is happening? It's like an attack on us. And then suddenly you find few images flashing on your screen of your guys wearing those black commando dress, the NSG commandos. What thoughts would have been going on in your mind? I remember what was going on in my mind. I was thinking that, okay, now is our time. Now we will show you what we are. What mistake you have made, we will make you pay for what you've done. And mind you, the NSG commandos, after they had taken over this operation, there were no collateral casualties. There were only two casualties which happened. One was of Major Unni, unfortunate, and was another commander. So these are the ethics. And this operation has been studied by almost 30 countries from across the globe who are suffering the insurgency. Imagine the challenge they had to go through. They had to enter room after room after room in those hotels doing a benign entry. There are two kinds of entries that you do in a room clearing drill. One is a hostile entry, another is a benign entry. In an hostile entry, it is very simple. You just throw in a grenade, pump in few magazines, walk in and collect whatever is left off. But in a benign entry, you have to be sure that you don't hurt anybody, because in every room, there could be a situation that there is a hostage, or there could be a terrorist, or there could be a situation a hostage and a terrorist both are present there. So room after room, you have to do a benign entry, check, be sure, don't hurt anybody, clear the room as per the procedure so that no collateral damage takes place. Just imagine the kind of stress which I've been going through then. Just imagine the kind of leadership, the strength of leadership which is required. And incidentally, the officer who was commanding this unit there is a dear friend of mine, and he was present on the spot. It's again lead from the front. He was there in the front. He got a bullet on his face and he refused to leave the spot. He said, no, I can't leave my troops. My troops are there. I cannot abandon them until he was forcefully removed and evacuated from there. The doctors have, stitched his face together and he looks as handsome as he was earlier. But that is the kind of leadership values that these people have. Another scenario, casualty evacuation. We take casualty evacuation very seriously. It is every soldier in the Indian Army knows that if something happens to him, they will not be left behind. There will be people who will be coming after them. They will do everything possible to extricate them. I have personally been witness to a number of casualty evacuation scenarios where you see that you are amongst the cliffs. There is no way a helicopter can come there. But these daredevil pilots, helicopter pilots of the Indian Army, they will not only get in there, they will hover a helicopter on top of a temporary rope, evacuate the casualty and take it away. Now that faith, that confidence has to be there. That is what is instilled is there in each soldier, that he will not be left high and dry. He will not be left behind. There will be people who will be there watching his back. They will risk everything to extricate him out, get him out of that situation. So these are the scenarios which I have painted. These are the scenarios which I have shown. From there, I will extract the traits which a soldier has to have. It is imperative. It is imperative that you have to be loyal. Your integrity has to be impeccable. Your commitment to your unit, your troops, to your soldiers, to the nation has to be absolute. Trust, faith, and the devotion to duty. And I believe, and mostly in Army people believe, integrity is a trait which is binary in nature. It is either there or not there. There cannot be any 50 shades in between. It is either you are a person of integrity, a person of character, or you're not. And that's the trait which is essential, because you are the last bastion. Indian Army is the last bastion, and the nation depends on it. So these character values, these traits are what are enshrined, are integral, and are given to each and every soldier, each and every officer of the armed forces. You have to believe in something. You have to have a common cause. That common cause is what that drives you. That's what makes you do impossible things. That's what makes you believe in what you believe. And that's what makes you do things which otherwise in a normal circumstances would be impossible. There have been debates in the past where people have been, questioning why should they stand for the national anthem? Why should they? I feel all this is bum. I don't know where all this is coming from. as a nation, we have to be proud of the symbols of the nation. We have to pay due respect to them. We have to believe in what this nation stands for. And that's what I have been, practicing, and I have been inculcating and imbibing upon in my team, in my organization. In ESDS, we believe in the power of the faith of the leadership. We believe in the symbols that we are committed to. We believe that if you have that jazba and the josh, impossible can be achieved. We have set ourselves some targets, which we are very sure that given the leadership and the character values and the traits that we are working on, we are working with, we are absolutely certain of achieving them. And we also believe that each and every individual, each and every team member is a brand ambassador of the company. Each and every team member is the walking, talking ambassador of what your company stands for. And all of us take great pride in being the member of this family. And all of us in my entire team, their conduct, their behavior, every time they are mindful that what you do reflects upon what organization you are part of. And I try to imbibe and inculcate the same character traits, the same values into my team in the company. And that's what has helped us achieve impossibles. That's what has helped us reach exuberant growth, exuberant support. And that's what has carved a name for ourselves in the cloud industry. Now, with that, I come to the second part, which Chengappa wanted me to talk about. That's something about Atmanirbhar Bharat. It stems very clearly, translates very seamlessly from the culture and the ethos that I talked about, and taking pride in your country and making it a self-dependent and self-resilient economy, which is destined to grow greater bounds. I will just flash this image. Does any one of you recognize this? I'm sure not many, because these kind of things are not found in the civilized world that we live in. These are the barbaric tools. These are the tools of the barbarians. These are the weapons which were used by the Chinese in the Gulwan Valley. These are the weapons which which led to the martyrdom of 20 young brave soldiers of ours. It's a different matter that the bravery, they took 40 of them along, but these are not the tools of civilizations. This is the kind of barbaric neighbors that we have. These are the kind of barbaric people in whose community we are living. So we have to be very strong. We have to be very strong in all aspects, all domains of our nationhood. So the most important, I just thought that while I was doing this, let me do a little research on what kind of adversary we are looking at. If you do a search of top 5 banks in the world with the amount of assets under management, mind you, the top 4 banks are the Chinese banks. And look at the kind of assets they have under management. They are $4.3 trillion, $3.6 trillion, $3.5 trillion, $3.2 trillion. And how much is the Indian economy? It is $3.2 trillion. So, and look at if you see the trade deficit, it's a huge trade deficit that we have. We import $70 billion worth of goods from them, and $16 billion is all that we export to them. And that too very menial kind of things. So what thought process which is going on in the leadership of today is absolutely right. Now look at some other statistics. Look at this. This is the export-import comparison of China and rest of the world. You see, if you see the statistics here, China is a net exporter. Rest all countries, you will see most of it, they are either net importers or it somewhere balances out. But in case of China, they are net exporters. So in their strength lies their weakness. Their economy is mostly an export-dependent economy. It's a manufacturing economy which is dependent on export. If the world stops consuming what the Chinese are producing, it hurts them. It hurts them deep. Look at our strength. Our strength lies in our diaspora, which is outside. We are the country which receives the maximum amount of remittance. And Along with that, if we embark on this journey of self-reliance, self-dependence, Atmanirbhar Bharat in true sense, if we embark on this journey which the government of India has initiated, there are path-breaking initiatives that have been taken in this. Almost 20 lakh crore worth of money that has been earmarked. That's about 10% of our GDP has been earmarked. The definitions of various industries have been changed. MSME's definition has been changed. Every sector which impacts the large sections of society has been addressed. And the most path-breaking and most significant change that they have done is that they have disallowed global tenders up to 200 crores. So this is where lies the opportunity. This is where lies the policy shift, the shift in the government of India's thinking of supporting the local industry, supporting the local innovation. We have the talent, we have the skills, we have whatever is required. What we need to do is support it from the policy direction and support it intrinsically from the thought process of our own talent, that we need to contribute to our country. We need to make sure that what we learned, what this country has given to us, we pay it back. We pay it back, we deliver it to it. These are the circumstances, these are the challenging scenarios. The pandemic has taught us. The pandemic has given a very clear lesson to us that unless we are self-reliant, unless we make what we need, unless we are a resilient, vibrant economy within us, the future shocks will not be able to survive. In fact, if you take your mind back to the economic onslaught of 2008 and 9, we as a nation survived because we were deplugged. We were not decoupled. We were not coupled with the world economy so much. We were decoupled. Our banking systems were so robust. That's why we survived. The world economies faced a lot of onslaught. We did not. Even in this pandemic, I have a firm belief, I have full faith that once the situation returns to normal, we would emerge much stronger. There would be new paths, new industries which have shaped up. I'm very sure that a lot of industries are going through a tough time, but all this will not last. If the government of India's initiatives which have been taken in terms of Atmanirbhar Bharat are taken forward in true sense. So, and from there stems my transition, a seamless transition of my background, my belief in the resilience and dependence, self-dependence and faith in Indian talent, Indian technology, Indian innovation. That's why I transited from Warcenters to the data centers of ESDS. ESDS as a company, I take pride in saying that we are a true blue made in India cloud. We are a company which has developed a cloud orchestration platform. It is for the Indians, by the Indians. It is made in India. Our data centers are in India. Our platforms are in India. Our storages are in India. So all that, when we talk of the data privacy and we talk of the data regulations which are there, we are the ones who can be totally relied upon. We are an Indian company, patriots, dedicated to the nation. And that's why we almost about 70 to 80% of our revenue comes from the government verticals. We are supporting most of the major initiatives of the government. Why ESDS? It's like I said, that we are the creators of innovative tools. We are the most trusted brand of cloud providers. We are trusted by the likes of the big initiatives of the government of India are all hosted with us. Be it the smart metering project, be it the National Highway Authority of India, be it the smart cities. All these major initiatives are hosted with us. And it all started in 2005 by a young dynamic entrepreneur, Mr. Piyush Samani. It was his dream. It was his passion, his vision. He, from a single computer where he started with, and today he's built an empire which has 4 data centers all across the country. And we have presence in 17 countries, 4 continents, and the numbers are growing. Today we take pride in saying that almost 40% of the country's population is serviced by our data centers or our technologies every quarter. And over almost today we are 1,000 employees strong, and we have a presence in 4 continents, 6 group companies, 40,000 plus customers. And the biggest of all, the data centers that you see, we have recently launched a data center in Bangalore, in collaboration with STPI, which is the state of the art data center. It's the best of the breed of the world technology is available there. And in addition, we are empaneled with the METI as a provider of the government community cloud, creator of so many patents. It's a patented technology that we have. We have a US patent, we have a UK patent. So all these put together as the drive for innovation has made my transition from the war centers to the data center. Now, so far was the fantastic part of it. Now comes the fabulous part of it. ESDS is the great place to work. It's been adjudged as the 15th ranked great place to work in Asia. And it's the best workplace for women. We take pride in our culture. We take pride in our being. We take pride in our people. We take pride in our technology. We take pride in what we do. We take pride in the support that we give. We are a nimble-footed company which, is ready to curate and create technology on the go, on the fly. We created solutions for COVID on the fly. Overnight, we deployed the IT solutions for so many government initiatives. So that's what has helped me. That's what that culture of the company has helped me transition smoothly from the war centers to the data center. These are the ethos that I have learned. These are the values that I cherish. These are the values which are there, which seamlessly synergize with the ethos and values of ESDS. And I think with that, I come to this quote, which I relate very closely with. It says, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light." So that's what I believe in, and that's what I'm trying to do. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Anand. It was indeed refreshing to hear different perspectives which you laid out from war centers to data center. However, I would like to put it in this way that even though Bangalore section is organizing a number of technical sessions right from the pandemic that we had this year, so it was totally refreshing from a veteran like you to know your insights and how the disciplines inculcated in the Indian Army has helped you transition into different positions when you took up the different roles when you did that in the Army. So we do have a couple of questions for you. So probably one of the participants.
Chengappa, I lost you. I lost your voice. Can't hear you. Changs, I can't hear you.
Well, while Chengappa looks on to the technical issues, from the bottom of my heart, I would like, I'm Ashwini VR. Chengappa and I are in the professional activities committee, and
Okay.
we take a lot of pride in thanking you for this wonderful opportunity you gave us to have a glimpse at what entails a soldier's life. And additionally, we are also inspired to take up initiatives that you have spoken about. Wonderfully inspiring. Many thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Colonel Anand, actually, as I was speaking, I think there was some issues at my end. So there was a question for you. Says that one of the participants wants to know what was your best memory during your NDA days?
Okay, the memory that is etched in my mind during my academy days is during my second term. Towards the fag end of the second term, we were going on a cross country ride, horses. So it suddenly rained, and when it rains, the horses, they go a little berserk. So the horse that I was riding, it started running downhill, and it tipped and it fell, and I was thrown off its back, and I landed and I broke my right arm wrist. And that was towards the fag end of the course. So there was few tests which were still pending. I had not been able to appear in them. So one of them was the PT test, wherein you are supposed to climb a rope to the top and you come down without your legs, and that's a rope test that you are supposed to do. But with a broken hand, I couldn't have done that. Now, if I had not done that, I would have lost 6 months. I would have had to repeat a term. So this PT instructor of mine, he took me to a side and he said that you have to make a choice whether you want to lose 6 terms or you want to bear some pain. So I said, Ustad, I will bear some pain, but I will not lose my 6 months. So I got the plaster removed the next day through some help, and I climbed that rope with a broken hand, broken wrist, and I completed that test and I passed, and I did not lose a term. Now that lesson is still ingrained in me, that human body's potential is limitless. It does not, a little pain here and there does not matter. If you set out, if you decide to do something, you can do it. Nothing stops you. So that's what you have to just set your eyes. You have to think. So whenever I'm faced with tough situations, tough decisions to be made, this incident definitely falls back to me. I definitely reflect upon it that yes, I took that decision and I saved a relegation into 6 months. So this is one of the experiences which is stuck in my memory.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that memory from your NDA days. Well, I guess like probably we are at a fag end where we can conclude the today's session. Again, to summarize, from all the insights that we have shared, I would like to say that whether it is a war center or a data center, falling down is a part of life, but getting up back and going is what we all need to do, whether it is a war front or in our professional life. So with this, I would like to conclude today's session and once again thank Colonel Anand on behalf of IEEE Bangalore section for sharing his initiatives. So again, so if the participants have any queries, they can get back to us through the emails that we have shared. So Colonel Anand, thank you once again. If you want to share any closing remarks, we can take the closing remarks and wrap up the session.
Thank you so much, Changappa, for giving me this opportunity where I could share my experiences of life. And if they are of value, even if a few learn a lesson or two and they imbibe and makes a difference in their life, it would be definitely satisfying for me. And it was indeed a pleasure sharing this with you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, it was our pleasure to have you today. Thank you, participants. Until we have the next webinar, stay safe. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.